Hey guys, it's Postboxpat. Welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I won the GrefG, the Floor is Lava LTM on solo to help you guys out in NA East and NA West who haven't played in this tournament yet, or just in general, if you're playing this LTM when it comes back as an LTM and you want some tips on how to win the mode, this is it. So, first off, what you want to do is pick a spot to land at and head over there. Now, it really doesn't matter where you pick as long as it's not an area which is going to be absolutely crowded. I jumped straight out the bus and dived to the other side of the map. The first tip I want to give you guys is on the retail row side of the map. The lava takes forever to cover this side of the map because it's higher up on the ground. So that can give you an advantage as well, longer to loot if the storm does end in this section. So what you want to do is loot up as much as possible, and the best loot to take, we'll go over it right now, are balloons, #1 priority. #2, keep your harpoon gun. #3, get some healable items, either slurp fish, slurp juices, or the cabbages, which I do in this gameplay right here. And then the other items are subject to change or choice depending on what you want. So you could take extra balloons if you manage to find them, which can be really handy. You could also take some TNT or some clingers. Now in this game, I think clingers and TNT are the best because we're going to be using the Skybase strat, but not actually using it to win the game. And I'll show you guys how that works, because the Skybase strat is basically an instant win on this game mode. But because everybody's using it, it's like a Skybase battle up in the sky. So I'm going to show you guys how to kind of win them battles to get your Skybase to be the last one standing. Or if your Skybase does get destroyed, how you can still win the game if your Skybase gets destroyed and focus other people's Skybases. So it's really going to be useful, this. So as always, just loot up as much as you can. Don't farm materials, guys. You do not need to farm materials. Just farm everything you can chest-wise and go for the loot the best as possible and run the area as quickly as possible. Luckily enough, no one landed at retail, but you have got 12 games, so you should be able to get a few good landing spots. And keep an eye on your timer, because you've only got 3 hours to play this game. Obviously, with them 3 hours being the case, you can kind of like justify it. You're on like the 9th game, there's only 30 minutes left, you haven't got very good loot, back out and go into another game so you can get better loot and have yourself a better chance at winning. So I can see there's a player over here. I thought he was going for that mythic goldfish. Do watch out for them. The goldfish users are usually the sweatier players. There was at least 3 games where I got killed by goldfish players. And if you are like a more like professional player or just generally better than me at Fortnite, maybe you're one of them goldfish people who use the goldfish. But for me, explosives are the way. You can see here just taking this guy out really easily, using the C4. I actually dropped the clingers up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle them out. I was thinking, you know, what should I take here? We may as well take these instead of the slurp juice, because you can use them faster in the heal off. And I'm always debating which heals are the best to take. Now, I kind of worked out the best heals to take will be the cabbages. The bandage bazooka takes up too much room, but the cabbages only spawn in certain spots. You can get them at Holly Hedges, Retail Row, and also Pleasant Park. I don't know where else you can get them. If anyone knows, comment down below. I don't know all the locations off by heart, but they're 3 spots you should go and visit and get the cabbages. The reason we're going to be needing them cabbages is because late game, when the lava does start getting like higher and the circle gets smaller, you're going to be taking 5 damage every time you hit the lava. So having these cabbages, because you can use them while you're using your balloons, can be really handy. You're going to need 10 balloons plus. One strat that I do is when I see extra balloons that I can't carry, I will activate 2 balloons and pick up the others. So I've got maximum balloons. Actually, currently, technically, I'm carrying 12 balloons with 2 deployed and 10 in my inventory. So get the most efficiency out of your inventory so you can do the best you can. And like I said, do not farm mats really. Metal maybe. Other than that, there's no point, because if you're in a good spot where you can loot up, and especially on this side of the map where we're at right now, it's really useful because the lava takes forever to rise. So what I'm going to do right now is do a little bit of fishing, see if I can get some decent floppers, make the decision which healables I should take, and then be ready to build the Skybase. So obviously there's a few different things you can use. You can use the spicy flopper. That makes you go further with your balloons. It makes you run faster with your pickaxe. That's the same if you use any impulses or shockwaves as well in your balloons and your pickaxe at the same time. Another little tip as well, when you've got your balloons deployed, have your pickaxe out because you actually fly further. Look how fast I'm flying. I know it is sped up to 2 times the speed, but I move so quickly. So actually at the end of the day, I decided, you know what, we'll take cabbages. So I'll go over here and see if the cabbages spawned over here, because you can actually carry a total of 15 cabbages, which would give you roughly about 150 health, is it? Or is it 50? I don't know the exact stats per cabbage, but I thought it would be about 150-ish. I'm not too sure, I may be wrong. Whereas the slurpfish are only going to give you 40 each time, so that would be 120. So you're going to get more efficiency carrying these cabbages. Now obviously if you're playing this on duos or squads in the future, you're going to have a teammate who can carry the healables for you, probably using a bandage bazooka. But for now, that would probably be the best thing to carry that right now, the cabbages. They're just so broken and so useful in this situation. So what I've done is I've got my launch pads. They're going to be really useful as well. Make sure you've at least got 3+ launch pads. Also make sure you've got some bounce pads as well. well for the late game if you need to use them to get back up on the high ground, and you're basically set. With these cabbages though, what this allows you to do is actually use them to bounce off the lava because you can heal yourself. So this is how you do the skybase. What you do is you build it on the edge of the storm. If you look closely on the map, you see how I'm building it as the storm is closing in, and I'm building it in the storm region. This is really key to do. If you build it in the storm region, you're going to allow no one really to see you doing this, because they're going to be heading to the circle. They're not going to be looking around thinking, who's building a skybase, let's take him out. Now, there is the odd occasion where this can get shot down, and if that is the case, don't worry about it. Go and find another place where the storm is closing and you should be set. So for example, this player right here with the Mystic Goldfish, I'm pretty nervous because this was my last game on and the time had already passed the 8 o'clock, so I couldn't queue in for another one. And right now, I was thinking, I've just got to build here and just hide and just hope this guy doesn't break down my structure. And if he breaks it down, it's not the end of the world. We can try again and pull off another skybase, and it looks like he has broken it. So I lose my skybase, sadly. Right now, I'm really annoyed about that. Another good technique is if you don't want to take clingers, you can also take a grappler or a jetpack, which can be useful to reclaiming your skybase if you want to have the skybase battles, which I think was really useful. I did it a few times. I think personally the clingers come in more handy because you can destroy other people's skybases with them. Right now, I'm in a situation where my skybase has been destroyed. I've lost a few materials, still enough to build another base though. You've got to have, I reckon, at least 1,000 mats to get a skybase pulled off, at least, to have it. Because when you're in the sky, you need to move. But the thing about this game mode, which I forgot to mention, is the materials actually recoup over time. So you'll be here and your materials actually stack up slowly. So when you're building a base, you want to make sure your materials are being used equally. So for example, right now, you see how my wood's at 500, it's not going up anymore. So when you start to build your skybase, make sure you switch between all of your materials if they're maxed out, because then it'll start like replenishing them again, you know, resupplying them, so you're getting the most efficient use out of your materials. So these are all the things that I was thinking when I'm playing this game, like what can I do to get the most mats just in case I need them, in case I'm out of the reach of the storm. Right now I'm looking around for players, making sure no one's going to knock down my base again doing the same tactic, waiting on the edge of the circle and running to the circle by doing a skybase. This is such a good strat because nobody thinks about it. Nobody's coming over here now. Why are they coming over here unless they want to destroy your base? They shouldn't be. So they're going to be going into the sky with their either skybase or just go into the circle to battle people, which is probably the best tactic what I'm doing right here, because rifts are going to be underneath your skybase. For some reason, I don't know if this is an error with the game or just generally the way Fortnite is programmed, rifts actually just spawn slightly below your skybase. So any skybases you create, rifts won't be able to get to. So the only way of sieging a skybase will be either destroying it, using a jetpack, or a grappler. There's no other way of getting to a skybase, unfortunately. But you can siege them, obviously, by destroying them with a harpoon if you manage to get up there. But it's quite hard to get balloons even to that height sometimes. So you're pretty much safe. So once you hit the max height, you can tell by that ramp, and then you start doing your flat pieces. So I'm just checking that I'm at the max height. I am. So we're set to do the flat pieces. And what I do in my flat pieces is I build it slightly into the storm. I don't go like miles into it. I just build it slightly, and then you're safe. And what I've done here is I've created a skybase inside of the storm. That's going to allow us the best safety possible from our base being destroyed or knocked down. So you can see we've got one opposing player over there. I've got my clinger ready to get him. We've also got another opposing player to my right as well. Be careful, because these people sometimes do try teaming with you. Do not team with them. Get rid of them and get them down, because obviously you shouldn't team in tournaments. It's against the rules to start with. And it's going to be very annoying because they will betray you. So no teaming, guys. Get rid of these straight away. Every single time someone tried teaming with me, I'd get rid of them as quickly as possible. So how do you siege these other two people's skybases? There's been a few games in the past where we've had 4 people with skybases or 5 people with them. So you can try clingering them like I'm doing. I'm just out of reach. If I get a little bit closer, I'll be able to clinger that one. But don't worry, it's already been knocked. Someone's knocked it from the bottom. So there goes him. He's going to go all the way down. So yeah, I've just got to be careful he doesn't grapple onto mine. You can see he's trying to reach, but he is out of the range, luckily enough. And now we're in a position where it's a 1v1 in my skybase. We've got this geezer over here and me on my skybase. So I'm thinking, how can I knock this guy down? Well, I can actually use a launch pad to go over there. For some reason, balloons don't work at this height. If you jump, they don't work. If you use a bounce pad, they do work. It's weird. It's really strange. It has to be with a bounce pad to get a little bit more height. I don't know why. But anyway, I can use a launch pad to go over to him and then knock down his structure by landing behind him where my marker is and actually destroying it. So that's what I'm doing here. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. Trying to position myself. And this has worked several times for me. Such a good play. So right now we're in the top 42. We're in our skybase. We've got a great position. We've got a decent amount of materials, decent amount of metal, okay amount of wood, low amount of brick, but it is going up slowly, with metal being the slower. So that's why I always prioritize my metal for the end game, because it is helpful as well. It keeps you safer in the sky. So that geezer's there. I marked him on the map to see where he was. He's in the circle. So that gives me the hint and the controls to think I should possibly go over to his skybase, try and destroy it from the left side, and then knock him down. So we're going to try that. Here we go. So I do lose my balloons, which is sad because I don't want to lose my balloons. You can see the bit that's made out of wood. That's the bit I'm going to target. So we're going to land straight in here. Luckily enough, he does see. So good luck to him, and he does do a really good job protecting his base right here. Sadly, I didn't break it, so you can see from the gameplay, I did fail to break his base, and right now, I'm pretty nervous. We've lost the skybase. He's beaten me in this skybase battle right here now. You can't really do much. You can try pinging them with the harpoon. It doesn't really do much. You can try breaking his base, and then I actually make a big mistake here. I try actually using my launch pad, and it just gets destroyed on that last second. I was going to head back to my base, and he survives and gets away with it. So his skybase has taken the victory. He is the one in the sky. Now, what do you do right now? Because he's going to win the game, obviously, because he has the skybase advantage if he's got health, and you're going to have to be battling all these other 40 players down here on the ground with him up there and me here. So what have I got to do? Well, I've got to get back up there. So how on earth do you reclaim the skybases? This is why you loot at the start and not get materials, because look how many bounce pads I've got. 12 bounce pads is perfect to gain the height in this situation. So let's do it. What I do again is get right to the edge of the circle. I realize he's up there, and I do this technique. I place my bounce pad and go all the way up. Same again. Wait for the balloon to slow down the momentum, catch myself, and another bounce pad, and repeat this over and over until I gain to the max height. It is better if you do it with 2 balloons, but sometimes it can take a while to fall down onto the bounce pad. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit of a noob at this game with the building side of stuff, and I messed it up. I'm not the best at it. I did try, but now I realized, you know, I've got a decent position. Why don't we just build, get a little bit higher? I was thinking we should have just built stairs over to him from here. But luckily enough, it didn't really matter anyway, because someone does decide to actually knock down my structure, which happens quite a bit. So you can see here, I'm doing my stairs, and then it does get knocked down. So that's what I was doing. The tactic was trying to rebuild to him right here. We were just above the rift. I was checking the guy wasn't going to dive on us. We were trying to get back to his skybase. But luckily enough, it got knocked down. So that was pretty sad. But it actually seems as though the guy that was on the skybase has fallen down as well. So I don't know if he had wasted his materials in the battle or he just accidentally fell down, but it seems though that he has somehow been eliminated or fallen down. So that's how you reclaim skybases if no one shoots it down. It's the only way of really reclaiming them unless you have a grapple or a jetpack. And right now, we're down to 39 players in the battle situation. But you see how I've still got 5 clingers and 10 TNT. Don't waste them, guys. Honestly, do not waste these in these situations. This is why you do the skybase strat to get to this stage, because now you're in a battle arena with 38 people, decent amount of balloons. I've got 7 in total, and there's even some more here which I can claim using my harpoon gun to claim them. See how I'm claiming all the stuff here using my harpoon? I probably should have claimed some extra mats as well, but I just didn't really think about, I didn't want to waste too much time on it because there are 38 players. You don't know who's got the mythic goldfish. Anyone using the GrefG skin will have the mythic goldfish in this game mode, so keep an eye out for them. They're probably going to have it if they've not already thrown it, so watch out for them. And there's just a ton of them in this situation. So I'm thinking to myself, what have we got to do here, Pat? We've now got 12 balloons, decent amount. We've got max TNT and also 5 clingers. So what I'm doing is I'm controlling the sky. I'm keeping my eyes peeled, using my pickaxe to get the best movement. I can obviously use the lava to bounce better, and also a bounce pad which I can use, which is just totally better. Just get the bounce pad down and you'll move a lot faster. Obviously that was a mistake there. I got flinged back a little bit, but if I hit the lava or get pinged by someone with one of these harpoons, I will get a little bit height. So what you want to do is you want to shoot people's balloons in this situation, target like 1 or 2 guys, you see the skin, and kind of count how many balloons they're using. On average, most people have around 7 to 10 balloons because some of them have already been destroyed. But if you're an absolute sweat and you got really lucky with your, I guess, farming for your balloons, you might have taken 20. For example, I could get rid of my clingers and take 20. So here you can see I threw 1 clinger down. I was thinking maybe this is the time to use them, and I thought to myself, nah, the circle's not small enough yet. We need to try and make it smaller. So first thing I did was think, you know, we've still got a bit of mats. May as well try this, try and take the high ground. failed, unfortunately. I was trying once again to get a little bit higher because height is really key in this. Even if you can just keep yourself up and down, and always have 2 balloons deployed at once, because if someone shoots your 1 balloon and you don't manage to switch back to your balloons and deploy another one quick enough, you will lose them. So right now, I've got a big chance. You can see them all getting a bit crowded. I'm thinking to myself, when are we going to throw these clingers? When are we going to throw these TNT? We need to get these in the action and try them out. So I thought to myself, we may as well try popping a few extra balloons. Let's get some balloons down first. Pop his, pop that next one. Perfect pop right there. Get another balloon pop. I missed it, but aiming for the balloons and targeting. We've got this Iron Man skin here. Or is it the Iron Man skin? Yeah, he's there. Okay, I think it is. I don't even know. I can't see. There's so much going on. But you can see I'm trying my best to target these different people. And if you go into the storm, this is when your healables come in really handy. See how I'm using my healables to keep myself alive there? Because otherwise, I'll get eliminated by the storm, which happened on a few games. This is something I learned over time, to always carry healables. It's such a priority in this late game situation if you're not in your skybase, because you're going to get moved. You're going to get chucked around by people using the different harpoon weapons and maybe even impulses and stuff. So I lost a balloon there, deploy another one. I'm keeping track of my balloons as well. You can see I'm on 6 balloons, got 2 deployed, so 8 in total. And I'm also getting myself in a position, mixing up my combination of building and balloons and stuff, just trying to get myself a decent amount of position, trying to work out where everyone is. Can I land on a bounce pad to get a little bit extra height? Can I land on the lava? Well, obviously everyone is building like crazy now, so I can't. So this was the time to spam the clingers. So the clingers come out first. I get an elimination there with a clinger, and now it was time for the TNT. So this is where it comes in really handy. When the circle's moving like this and everyone's low on balloons because you've been destroying them, this is when you want to deploy your TNT and clingers. This is when you just absolutely wreck. And I did this almost every single game. Well, not every game, but almost every game. You also can use your TNT from the skybase, but look how well I'm doing here with TNT. Exploding and exploding. I've only got 1 left. I got so many eliminations there. People are out of control. They don't know what's going on. They're getting blasted by TNT. They're already on low HP because of the lava, which is dealing damage to them, as well as you've destroyed most of their balloons. So you can see hardly anyone's got balloons left. I still have 6 in total, so we're doing pretty well right now. And I've still got some healables if we need to win the heal off, and we're doing a good game right here. So this is really good. You can see keeping to the high ground. I'm out of weapons now, so I don't have any more explosives. It would have come in handy if I maybe kept some more for this bit, but this is when the storm starts moving a lot. Tracking the circle can be hard, especially on next gen console. The graphics don't give you much of an advantage here compared to other consoles. So what I'm doing, just taking high ground, kind of deploying stuff. If you were better at building than me and you're watching this video, which some of you may be, you might be able to do this better than I'm doing. You might be able to like make it even more kind of like locked down and put like a roof on it and stuff. Sadly, I don't have the experience for that, so I was unable to tunnel or anything like that. But I'm just doing the best I can and just trying to take to the high ground constantly and just keeping that high ground, keeping that advantage, keeping that position. And right now there's 8 players left. I'm trying my best to rotate through, hoping for another elimination because there is that siphon in it. Top 12 it's now saying, but obviously there's 8 left, so I'm in the top 8. Using my healables now, trying to keep in the storm the best I can. Just keep moving and moving and moving and moving. And you can see we're in a good position. We can now get the heal off, and luckily enough, I actually do pretty well in this heal off. I get to 2nd position, and sadly, the last guy, he's just got extra health than me. I think he actually got the elimination on the guy, which gave him the 50 siphon, and he did get the W against me. But that doesn't really matter in this mode. You've technically won it. You've set 2nd place is almost a 1st on this. The amount of points you get for it is insane. So yeah, just aim for that position, top 3 every time, and you will guarantee yourself the emote and pickaxe. I know this is only applicable now for NA West and NA East servers, but it's worth it, and it's so enjoyable. One of my favorite LTMs. So thank you so much for watching right to the end. Smash that like, smash that subscribe. I hope to see you guys in future content. And once again, this is Postboxpat, signing out.